Hey guys, my name is Kate, and I'm a part-time online clothing reseller. And in today's video, we're going to be going through my online sales for 2 weeks of sales between the dates of August 3rd through August 16th. I do have at least one sale on every platform that I resell on, so at least one on Mercari, Depop, Poshmark, and Ebay. So let's just jump right into my sales, and we will go through my sales together.
All right, guys, we're starting off with Mercari like we usually do. I have one Mercari sale, surprisingly. In my last What Sold video, I had no Mercari sales, and that's just because I feel like Mercari is very hard to understand. Sometimes I'm making sales on there, sometimes I'm not. I also feel like they are kind of going out of business a little bit. They definitely have a lot of competition with eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. But this is a Carhartt purple, comfy outdoor, everyday Newbury hoodie sweater shirt, size medium. I meant to put sweatshirt, but I put sweater shirt. In my description, I got this paragraph from, I believe, a website that was selling this exact hoodie from Carhartt. And then in my description of all the clothing items I sell, I put keywords. So if someone searches for a specific item in the search bar and say they use an extra keyword that isn't in my title, but's in my description, it's going to help me show up when they search for that item. So for this listing, I put the keywords breathable, baggy, cozy, and layering. And what I do is I put style tags, and then I just list off the style tags that someone might potentially look for when they are searching for something. I got this from the Goodwill outlet for $4. It sold for $15. I originally had it listed for $18, and it sold for $15, which was an offer that I accepted. That makes my profit around $10.90. I use Google Sheets to track my inventory and all my reselling numbers. And I think my sheet's a little off in the algorithm when it comes to Mercari and Depop. I think the fees are wrong. So it says on my sheet that my profit's around $10.90. But that would mean Mercari only took 10 cents from this sale, which doesn't seem correct. And then over on Depop, I think it shows I'm making more money than I actually am. So when I say my profit for Mercari and Depop, my net profit, just know it might be a few dollars off. So $10.90 for this, and this took 177 days to sell. I knew that I wouldn't make a lot of money from this, but I'm like, Carhartt is a really trendy brand. As long as there is that little square, that little Carhartt logo, you are golden. That, I feel like Carhartt logo is so trendy. This did have a little bit of wash wear, but I knew someone would like it. Everyone needs a comfy sweater in their life. So I would pick that up again. Probably not from the regular thrift store, but I do like to keep an eye out for Carhartt at the bins specifically. Moving on over to Depop, we're going to go through a few sales on Depop. I definitely didn't make as many Depop sales as in my last What Sold videos, but for this video, I'm only going through 2 weeks of sales, which I think in my last What Sold video, I went through 3 weeks of sales. This is an Old Navy white orange vintage specialty, tie-dye crew neck sweatshirt size 2XL. In this one, I put sweatshirt correctly. I didn't put sweater shirt. In my description, I put the keywords breathable, loungewear, baggy, beachy, closet staple, multicolor, colorful, summery, casual, and travel, as well as athleisure. On eBay and Poshmark, I actually had a stock photo of a woman wearing this hoodie, but on Depop, I try not to put stock photos because Depop is pretty against that, although eBay and Poshmark, technically stock photos aren't allowed. Everyone does it, but Depop is more strict with that and is known for banning your account. So try not to do stock photos as much as I used to. I got this at the bins for $2. It sold for $15, making my profit $12.06, about $12.06. This did take 288 days to sell. This sale was kind of out of the blue. I believe it might have been an offer. It might have been listed for $18 and I accepted a $15 offer. But the reason I got this was because it was a size 2XL. I liked the tie-dye. It was a low cost of goods, and so I wanted to test it out. This is a piece I would probably pick up again. I do like to pick up Old Navy in the larger sizes, in the more substantial pieces, if my cost of goods is low enough. So that was a nice little sale there. And then I sold this t-shirt, which I actually had 2 of this t-shirt. I got these from an estate sale a while back. I got a bunch of vintage t-shirts from this estate sale, and I believe that there were 2 of these. And then for some reason, I never put a multi-quantity listing, and I think the other t-shirt had a hole and this one didn't have a hole. So I just listed this one again after realizing that it wasn't listed. This is a Tennessee River black Tracy Lawrence live cowboy vintage band t-shirt, size large. In my description, I put the keywords cowboy music, country, rodeo, and western. I paid $1 for this. It sold for $24, which was an offer that I accepted, making my profit around $21.76, and this only took 6 days to sell. I remember my other Tracy Lawrence t-shirt also selling very quickly. I don't know who that is. Apparently some kind of musician of the sorts, but the vintage t-shirts, especially like vintage musician or band t-shirts, I feel like just inherently have a following. And then next sale is this vintage Enzo Brown. I didn't put the full name. I just put vintage Enzo Brown, witchy whimsy goth, fairy grunge, embroidered flowers, boots, size 9.5 medium. In my description, I put the keywords sock. I meant to put sock boots. I put socks boots, sexy stilettos, feminine pointed toes, zip up unique, one of a kind, goblin core, form fitting 90s fall and costume. Lots of keywords to that one. I paid $8 for these and they sold for $36. I had them listed at $45, which was a reduced price. I believe I originally had this listed at like $75. Reduce the price every couple of months, and someone offered me $36, which I did accept. That makes my profit around $26.36. These did take 346 days to sell, which is quite a while. Like I said, I do believe I priced these too high, but these were a complete style-based pickup because Enzo Anglione isn't usually a brand I look out for at the thrift store, but these had so many good factors. I could put so many good keywords for these boots, and they were just very unique. I'd never seen anything like them before, so I knew that someone would buy them. And although they did take a while, I would pick those up again and just price them more conservatively. But yeah, really great sale there. We're going to head over to Poshmark. That's it for Depop. I sold this Alice plus Olivia black white knit geometric stripes A-line wrap mini skirt size 4. In my description, I put the keywords feminine going out, neutral, and business casual. I paid $6.99 for this at a Savers thrift store. It sold for $31, making my profit $17.81. And this did take 248 days to sell. I have noticed that Alice and Olivia is a very long haul item. I have a pair of Alice and Olivia tan pants that I've had for even longer than this skirt, like more than a year. And so I've noticed that Alice and Olivia takes a while to sell in my experience. And I remember actually thrifting this day, and I had recently been thinking about wanting to find Alice and Olivia, and then I found an Alice and Olivia piece. So that kind of felt like thrift manifestation. But I would definitely pick this up again. The cost of goods wasn't too bad, and Alice and Olivia is a more expensive brand, but it does take a while to sell, like I said in my experience. This next sale was a bins pickup. I love to find this brand at the bins, and that brand is American Eagle. I actually have a question for you guys. Since the Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad, have you noticed more American Eagle denim selling in your store? I'm genuinely curious because I think that American Eagle made like $32 million from the advertisement. And I don't know if that like kind of carried over into the reseller space or not, but let me know if you've been selling more American Eagle because I have sold a few pair of American Eagle jeans the past couple of weeks, but it might also just be because we are in the season where people are buying denim for back to school. So this is an American Eagle, black, stretchy, casual, cute, curvy, highest rise flare, size 6. In my description, I put the keywords neutral, everyday, closet staple, and wardrobe basic. I paid $4 for these. They sold for $20, making my profit $12, and these only took 42 days to sell. I was really excited when I found these in the bins because they were a flare style, which is a trendy leg style. I will usually always pick up American Eagle denim from the bins, whether it's men or women's, if they're in good condition. But I sometimes even pick up American Eagle jeans at the normal thrift store if they're in a trendy style, such as wide leg or flare leg. I have picked up a pair of American Eagle flare jeans from the regular thrift store before for around $6. But I did accept a $20 offer. And yeah, happy for this sale. I did have to wash them once I got them home because there were some white marks, but I think American Eagle jeans retail for around $60. So $20 is a really good deal for the buyer. This next sale is really exciting. I've been selling so many things from my Uptown Cheapskate haul, and I've been telling you guys about it. And this is a Doc Martens women's black leather jade and toe guard platform lace-up boots size 7. I got a lot of information directly from Doc Martens website to put in my description, and then I also put the style tags grunge, punk, emo, gothic, and streetwear. Originally, I had these listed as the wrong size. I think I listed them as a woman's size 8, which I don't understand why I did that, but I believe in the end, I changed them to the correct size. So they're a woman's size 7 and men's size 6, because right there it says USL, which I think stands for US ladies size 7, and then the USM I think stands for US men size 6. So hopefully the buyer is happy. I mean, this was like a week ago, so I think it all worked out. But I paid $25 for these. They sold for $90, making my profit $47, and these only took 42 days to sell. Doc Martens, it's a great brand, and I feel like they're a consistent seller as long as you don't pay too much for them. I know people like go to Ross and stuff and find underpriced Doc Martens and flip them, but $25 is a really good amount to pay for like a brand new pair of Doc Martens. I knew that those would flip quickly, and well, would do that every day of the week if I could. Next sale, we have this J. Crew gray front fleet full length Cameron 4 season stretch dress pants size 20. In my description, I put the keywords office work, career, feminine, sleek, and tailored. I also got a little bit of information directly from J. Crew's website. I paid $4 for these from the Goodwill outlet. They sold for $40. I think I had them listed at around like $75, and then I reduced the price to $50 because $75 was completely unreasonable. Got a $40 offer, which I accepted, making my profit $28. And these took 67 days to sell. I was really excited when I found these in the bins because they were new with tags and a larger size. And J. Crew was also just a really nice brand. And they weren't J. Crew Factory, they were J. Crew. So I think these retailed for around like $200 or something. I don't think they had the actual or the beginning price on them, but really cool. Excited about this sale. And yeah, I just love finding new with tags at the bins. I actually think I featured those J. Crew pants in a bins haul that I did. So this is a new to me bolo, but at Savers a little while ago, I was looking at, they have a few racks in the back of the store that they have not put out yet. And usually I find a lot of like really good deals there. And I found 3 of these like bodysuit, weird shape looking things, but you could tell that they were new without tags. And so I looked it up, and this brand was called Fajati, but like similar was Faja or Fajas. And apparently what these are like post-operative shapewear things. And I was seeing comps for like new with tags with the actual tags for around like $75, $50 to $75 on eBay. So I'm like, I'm going to test this out. This is a Fajati brown corset post-operative bra compression shapewear or shaper wear bodysuit size large. In my description, I put body shaper, girdie, and waist trainer. I paid $7 for these. Whoops, there you go. I paid $7 for these. They sold for $35. I actually had this listed, I think, for $75, and then I just accepted a $35 offer because this was a complete experiment piece, and I only paid $7, so that was a pretty good profit, which is a profit of $21. And this took 86 days to sell. Next item to sell that I want to talk about. I sold a few things in between these sales, but really want to highlight certain sales and talk about them for different reasons. This is a Adidas times Parley blue white ombre sporty tennis athletic mini dress size large. In my description, I put the keywords tennis core fitness pickleball and outdoor. I paid $7 for this dress at a Goodwill in Idaho. It sold for $30, making my profit $17, and this took 76 days to sell. I remember being at this thrift store in Goodwill a couple months ago, and I came across this, and although it was Adidas, which Adidas most of the time doesn't sell that well, but this was a collab, and the dress just looked very interesting to me, so I looked up the specific dress and collab on eBay, and this exact dress was going for, I think I saw a comp for 40, and I saw a comp for 50, so I priced mine at 50. I did accept a $30 offer. I'm so happy with that. And I would do that again. I think a Parley is a sustainable, it's not like a clothing brand. I think it's like a sustainable organization to help reduce paper output or something, but glad for that sale. And then last sale I want to talk about on Poshmark is a really good sale. Probably my best sale I'm going to talk about in today's video. This is a Sorel Purple Gray Suede Joan of Arctic Wedge Chelsea ankle boots, size 9.5. I got this paragraph from somewhere. I don't think it was from like Sorel's actual website, probably a website that was selling this type of Sorel boot. But in my style keywords, I put going out, outdoor cute, grunge, casual, and versatile. I got this stock photo as well, as you can see. I paid $10 for these. They sold for $75, which was my full asking price. And that makes my profit $50. And these took 108 days to sell. I have a few other Sorel boots that look similar to this style listed on my store, but the reason I think that these sold, and I think the reason I originally priced these for higher in the first place was because of the colorway purple, which is just makes them a little bit more unique and gives them an extra factor. So would definitely pick those up again. Let's end off with eBay, which hasn't been doing as well for me as it usually does, but my most recent video I put out on my channel was a video of me talking about Whatnot. And although I've moved on from it, I'm still a little bit sad that it didn't work out for me. But I have been like putting my regular, or I had been putting my regular reselling business on the back burner a little bit to try to work out Whatnot, to try to like really immerse myself in trying to succeed on Whatnot. And I put a lot of time and effort into that and it didn't work out. So I need to get back into my main bread and butter, which is, listing on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Depop. And that's why I think my sales have been slower on eBay, but trying to really focus on eBay again, because that's where I make the most of my money now. This is a Zara Black Pink floral satin slip leg slit, feminine going out midi dress, size large. I paid $4 for this at Uptown Cheapskate. It sold for $22. I listed it for $28 and I sent out a $22 offer. That makes my profit $12.72, and this only took 4 days to sell. This dress looked way better on the mannequin. I don't know if I have a photo. I don't, but originally I wasn't going to put this on a mannequin, and it did not look nearly as good. And now that it's on a mannequin, it looks way better. I was able to find a lot of like pictures of women wearing this though. I had that one and that one and that one and that one. So it definitely made it seem like this Zara dress was a blogger favorite. And this, yeah, I told you guys already, 4 days to sell. So really happy about that. This one just had a lot of really good factors. Zara is definitely a very oversaturated brand, but certain dresses of theirs and certain styles can do well. And other pieces in Zara as well. But I find Zara dresses a lot and I only pick up certain ones. So this is a vintage SDI navy blue white v-neck preppy old money sweater vest shirt, size medium. In my description, I put the keywords old money, nautical, academic, and schoolgirl. I paid $2 for this at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for $18, making my profit $11.68. This did take 420 days to sell. So quite a while. Definitely not ideal. I actually originally bought this for myself. And then when I tried it on, I didn't like how large the armhole was. And so I decided to list it and it sold after quite a while. But I'm happy with that. I definitely would love to find a sweater vest like this that's a little bit different, that doesn't have quite as big armholes. Next sale is from J. Crew. I definitely probably could have gotten my full asking price for this had I waited, but I wasn't making as many sales as usual, and so I got a reasonable offer and I took it. This is a J. Crew gray cashmere, quiet luxury sleeveless turtleneck tunic sweater, size medium. In my description, I put the keywords classic, preppy, minimalist, casual, luxury, and quality. I didn't even put luxury because I had quiet luxury in the title, but anyway, I paid $6 for this at Uptown Cheapskate, sold for $25. That makes my profit $13, and this only took 6 days to sell. This thing was nice. I remember finding this at Uptown Cheapskate and being like, oh, this is cashmere. And then I confirmed it was cashmere, confirmed it had no flaws. This was thick. It was ribbed. It was very quiet luxury. I should have just held out for the full $35, but Sold for 25. Not complaining about that. We'll definitely do that again. We are definitely getting into cashmere season again. I don't think I have any cashmere. Cashmere sells very quickly for me, but the alpaca, not so much. I have this alpaca sweater I got last year, and it's like a no-name brand, but I thought because it was alpaca, it would sell well, and that was not the case. But cashmere always sells quickly for me. Usually just for like bread and butter pricing, but if it's cashmere sweater with no flaws, it's going to sell. So this next sale on eBay I want to talk about is this Santiki black multicolor patchwork whimsy goth fairy grunge knee-length dress size small. In my description, I put the keywords smocked bohemian, boho gypsy, witchy earthy forest, and granola girl. I paid $4 for this at a thrift store like when I was driving back from a vacation. I stopped at this little podunk thrift store and spotted this. I got it because I thought it was very pretty and like very boho, and I knew I could put keywords like whimsy goth and fairy grunge. It sold for my full asking price of $25 in 2 days, which was very surprising to me. That makes my profit $15. I did not expect this to sell that quickly at all, but I think the colorway was very whimsical, and patchwork is, I think I talked about this in my last What Sold video, but patchwork is such a good keyword. Okay, it's like one of the best keywords. If your item is patchworky, like actually patchworky, and you put that keyword, it's going to help your listing sell. But yeah, I would definitely pick that up again. Santiki, maybe it's a Bolo brand, I don't know, but I got it for completely style-based reasons without looking up the brand. I just picked it up based on my past experiences with similar styles. This next sale is this diesel purple tie-dye biker streetwear grunge punk studded denim vest size small. In my description, I put the keywords cybergoth, unique 80s, and casual. Now, this vest was so cool. I mean, look at it. It was studded. It was purple tie-dye, very grunge. So cool. I spotted this at the thrift store. I paid $10 for it, and I originally had it listed for $75. I think I might have lowered the price to $60, but it sold for $50, which is really good. And that makes my profit $28. This did take 129 days, which isn't too bad. I think I got a few lowball offers, but I knew this would sell well. I don't know a ton about the brand Diesel, but I think it is a good brand to resell. I've heard like that their coats and stuff sell well, but that was like the coolest piece I've ever come across. So really happy about that. We have 2 more sales to go through, you guys. Next sale, I think I could have sold this for full price. I keep saying that, but I did accept the offer that I got because it was reasonable. So, this is an Anthropologie brown, black, silver, snake print sequin party flare Joni pants size 8. In my description, I put the keywords holiday, New Year's glam, maximalism, and avant-garde. This wasn't with tags, but I did mention that there was a flaw. So on the inside of the pant, there was like a place to button up on the inside, which didn't really affect the outside, but it did have like a hole and a missing button. But this retailed for $198. I actually recently showed this piece in a thrift haul of mine. I paid $4.50 for this. It sold for $35, which was an offer that I accepted. I had it listed for $50, so I might have been able to get the full price. It took 4 days to sell, so very, very quickly, and my profit was $22.10. I knew this pair of pants would sell well, and it was just a really fun pair of pants. Last sale is from the brand Talbots. Now, this took a while to sell, but this is a vintage Talbots knit mixed media flowers chevron colorful cardigan sweater size large. In my description, I put the keywords chunky, ugly, Christmas sweater, button up, grandma core, one of a kind, multicolor winter, warm, cozy, festive, and layering. I did lay this one on the floor, and I really like how it turned out after I whitewashed the background. I paid $3 for this. I got it at the Goodwill outlet. It sold for $22, making my profit $13.72. This did take 348 days to sell, which is quite a while. I originally had this priced much higher, kept lowering the price. I originally relisted this or clicked sold similar, essentially relisting this, and I had relisted it at $22 and someone bought it outright. This is a really cool vintage Talbots piece, and I'm happy that it sold, just not happy that it took forever to sell. Anyway, that is all the sales.
That is it for this What Sold video. Really do appreciate it if you stuck around until the end. If you did, let me know in the comments below your best sell these past couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.